Bookkeepers and roofers, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well today. Today, we are going to be discussing why roofing owners think bookkeeping is too expensive. Have you ever spoken to a roofer and you said you charge $1,000 a month and they said, oh, that is too expensive? So, roofers, though, they will spend $1,000 like on their advertising without a blink of an eye. So today we're going to look at why this is so and what you can do to help yourself land some good roofing clients. And I teach how to do roofing bookkeeping on this channel. So this is a good way for you to start with your first roofing client. And so we're going to go into why that they think maybe that it's too expensive. Maybe it's a privacy issue that they feel of releasing like all their bank account, their credit cards, things like that. And the first thing that we really want to let them know, though, with the privacy issue is that it is just between us and them. And that as far as it goes. After we get finished doing the bookkeeping, the CPA will take a look at the bookkeeping. They're going to file their taxes and do all of those things. And I do highly recommend that you do the bookkeeping and then they will have a CPA that looks over the bookkeeping and then will file the taxes. So once a year at the beginning of a brand new year, then we'll prepare all the documents and make sure the books are clean, the profit and loss, the balance sheet, and then the CPA has an invite to QuickBooks Online. Then they take our information and then they create their tax return from that information. If they have any questions, though, or if they need a ledger or a printout of something, or they have a question, then we will supply that to them, because we know everything that is going on in this roofing company because we've been doing the bookkeeping every week and we have it cleaned up at the end of the year. If you'll keep it up every week doing the bookkeeping, every month doing the things you need to do, every quarter filing any payroll taxes that you need to, then at the end of the year, it's just very light cleanup that you're doing over the profit and loss and balance sheet. I pull a profit and loss, especially at the end of every month. So if anything, there's some unapplied credit, some charges are under a parent name and not my subcategories, then I'll go and reassign that as well. So this is what you're going to be doing when you're helping a roofing contractor. They will spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and more money on their advertising. And the reason for this is that advertising brings in calls to their business. It brings in opportunity to give a customer a quote, an opportunity to do their roof, an opportunity to bring revenue into the company and to pay themselves and their employees and their contractors and material suppliers and all of those good things that it costs to do that job. As a bookkeeper, you have to show how you're going to make a difference in their business, how you can help them, because most contractors, any in construction, most of them don't know what benefit there is to having a bookkeeper and how much pressure that we can take off of them and help them understand their numbers better and help them to make better decisions in their business as they're looking at the ad money that they're spending, the Google that gives them trends, just like YouTube gives us trends of how that is going up and down. So how much money maybe they could add more to that Google spending, or if they need to pull back, anything like that. That's how us giving them the numbers, then that helps them make that decision. But when we're doing it every week, it's just not past or history transactions. we're taking a look at everything in live time. So every day as they're spending money, as they're bringing in money, we can see what's going up and down. And we are in the books, and a lot of different books, enough to know what the spending patterns are. So if something is an outlier, it stands out as an unusual charge, then you can help them save money with that in case it was a bad charge or something like that, or the supplier's bill was a lot higher than what they had figured that supplier bill was. So I'm going to go over just a few things to help you when you're talking to a roofer or roofing company, to add value to your conversation of what you're going to help them with, and then the stress and pressure that you're going to remove from their business so that they can have a financially secure business and a business where they can focus more on the sales, the production, the getting the jobs done, and then collecting their money once they complete that job. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. And also, I want to remind you, over at Roofing Bookkeepers Connection, I have a lot of free information over there. It's our free membership. So please join us over there. And then there's a complete training with roofing and QuickBooks Online on the classes page that you can review. And then if that interests you, then your next step, then if you don't have any roofing clients yet, or you don't have any clients at all, then you can move up to the 1K client program. And then this program, I'm going to walk you through more of QuickBooks Online, of servicing a contractor. And then also, which a lot of people are needing right now, that I'm getting a lot of calls off of, is how do I get a client? I have a 4 series of getting your first client with your marketing, your website, and all of that kind of stuff to help you get started with that. Just keep in mind when you start your marketing plan, because I was talking to a subscriber today, keep in mind when you start your marketing program that it takes 3 months, 6 months, 12 months before the leads start flowing in for you. So in the beginning, you have to be more active and get to know your customers, see what their pain is, whatever niche that you are specializing in, whether it's construction, roofing, painting, exterior, bathroom remodeling, home improvement, whatever it is. So you need to know backwards and forwards what their problem is so you can help them solve their problem. That is what they will pay for. That is what they will pay $1,000 a month for. We're not just doing generic bookkeeping for them. But roofers don't buy bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is just a cost to them. So unless you can take the bookkeeping and make it a profit to them, then that's what they will buy. They will buy results of their getting more knowledgeable in their business, that it's increasing their profit, it's increasing their revenue, that there's something in it for them besides just paying a cost. So that's what you really want to discuss with them. But they buy results, they buy outcomes. That's why it helps when you do their profit and loss, that yeah, you send them the profit and loss, but then you give them some recommendations of ways to improve that profit and loss, to improve their profits. And you can make that a very short edition, and you can even use ChatGPT and just upload that profit and loss, and then it will give you a summary of it and recommendations. So that is another way that you can do that. It does give them better decisions. So you want to help with that. And in roofing, cash flow is king. So it gives them better cash flow as they're bringing in deposits from jobs, and then as they're paying contractors, materials, employees, and then getting finals on job. This is the cash flow, the in and out of money that is going through the roofing business. Cash flow is really critical for this because they have very large material bills. They have very large contractor bills. When comparing that to what you're charging them for accounting or bookkeeping, that is very small amount compared to those things. So if they can get help with those things from you, that is going to be an A triple plus. So that is going to be amazing. Just better profits, and then let them know what happens without a bookkeeper, of how chaos and unorganized their business can be, and how stressed out that they can become, especially when the wintertime comes, and tracking contractors, setting up employees, doing all of these things that we do. You don't have to tell them everything that we do, but you can let them know we'll get your QuickBooks organized. You'll have a smooth workflow. You'll know how much you owe suppliers because we go into those websites. We're downloading all the invoicing. We're checking those numbers. We're helping with your job costing so you know that you're making enough profit on jobs. We can tell you exactly what your profit margin is at any time by pulling up the profit and loss. And in case you don't know, you would take whatever your profit is, your revenue, minus just your cost of goods. So you need to make sure you have QuickBooks set up correctly. And then whatever that net amount is there, divide that into the revenue. And then we're looking for a 50% gross profit margin. At 50%, we know that it will take care of the advertising and the overhead and any loans that we have in the business. And then we are looking to have a 10 to 20% profit in the net profit itself. But the first thing that we look at is the gross profit, because that will tell us if they're charging enough to the customer to produce that 50% gross net profit. Okay. So that's what we want to look at there. And then they'll be able to see any missed profits that they are having, or if they're overpaying employees, whether they're hourly or whether they are salesmen or whether it's contractors or whatever it is that they're paying. And then any advertising waste that they may have, which typically they don't have too much advertising waste except for maybe just overspending on advertising, but they're just trying to get those leads in. So don't be alarmed when you see them spending a lot of money on advertising. But then any supplier problems, and I've heard a lot about this, of the invoice that they're getting when they initially sent in the job order to get the shingles delivered and all that, those kinds of things. And then when they get the invoice from the supplier, that being much higher than when they originally sent the order in to the supplier. So that's another thing that you can help them with. But as a bookkeeper, you should be an asset, and you can help them, like I say, with their job costing. They're using Job Nimbus, AccuLinks. There's a few other, RooferLink. I think someone else was on ProLine, Jobber, whatever system is that they're using out there. So you can create a much better workflow for them. We are finding problems early. We're giving real value, and we are tracking. And so we're tracking profitability, just like they track profitability with their Google ads. We're checking profitability as their whole company with that profit and loss. And we can look at prior months, prior years to see if we're up or if we're down. And then we are avoiding expensive mistakes. If we see something double charged or a return check from a customer, then we can alert them that they did receive a return check or disputed credit card charge or anything that's going to affect them. We're helping owners make better decisions. That's, I think, our primary value is to help them make better decisions and to help them increase their profits and their company be more valuable and more of an asset. So at some point, if they ever want to sell their company, that they can sell their company for a good amount and retire if that is what they want to do. Or they may be building a roofing legacy, a family legacy, where they're going to hand it down to their son, to their daughter, some other member of the family. So all of those things. But the goal isn't just clean books. We want to be able to let them know exactly what their numbers are stating. Their goal is for a stronger financial business. So we want to make sure that when the slow times come, that they've saved up money and they're sitting in a better position than when they started. So you can help them look at when you first started, what their books look like, and then in 30 days, what their books look like, in 60 days, what their books look like, in 90 days, for all the progress that you are making with them. That is how, when you're on the phone with a roofing company and maybe they think your price is too expensive, this is how you would talk to them in their language of these things that I just discussed, that this is it's going to benefit you if you have a bookkeeper. And once you have a bookkeeper, then you're going to didn't know how you ever got along without a bookkeeper helping you in your business. That is how you would do that. That's all for this training, and I hope that was really helpful for you. Pick out 1, 2, 3, 5 things that you could discuss on a call with a roofing company. It doesn't have to be everything I discuss, but make some notes and pick out 1 to 5 things. And then those will be some things you can have in your conversation with them. Thank you so much for joining today. And please do join us over at Roofing Bookkeeper Connection. And then there you can get some training and then start moving up and really start growing your bookkeeping business. I do everything in steps. So the first thing you're going to do is the free information. And then I have a paid membership that's under $200 a month that's going to help you. Just do that for a couple months. And then when you're ready to get into Roofing Legacy and then mentorship, then you can go through the progress. So we want to grow as we are earning. I grew my own roofing business, so I know sometimes how tight money can be. So we want to grow at the level that we are. If you have any questions, just please comment, reach out. And if you are ready to get started, then book a call with me, and then we'll get started in working in your new bookkeeping company. All right, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.